Welcome to We're Talking Bears,
where we bring you the latest in the Chicago Bears experience.
I'm Uncle,
nephew,
and I'm Son,
and we're talking Bears.
Yeah. So victory. Well, it's not Monday no more. Victory week. Following Bears v Lions. We actually came out of the bye week strong. Feeling good, feeling right. So of course, I'm Son. This Uncle. We're talking Bears. We love our audience. We love having you guys watch along with us, enjoying, kind of sharing what's going on this season. And just remember, jam those buttons, like, comment, subscribe, get those views up. We're really getting some really good subscriber counts, some really good numbers on some of these videos, man. We just want to keep growing. We just want to, keep that audience growing. So, make sure you're letting us know what you think. Make sure you're letting us know if you like these videos, and we'll keep making them because this is what we enjoy doing. So, without further ado,
Victory chain! The victory chain! Got to put it on. We won again.
Man, I'll take it. It was a big win, a big game, big statement from Flus, from the defense, from Montez Sweat, from Justin Fields, from really the whole team. We really came out swinging on that first drive. Credit to Luke Getsy with that awesome play call to do that reverse to DJ. Man,
yeah, there was some incredible plays. That reverse with DJ, where DJ Moore, Justin rolls over to looking like it's gonna, to a wide receiver bunch position.
Mm-hmm.
DJ Moore steps behind, takes the hike. Justin comes through as if it's going to be a reverse to him, and half the defense freezes when they see Justin going toward the ball.
Yeah, that was really creative and really good, and I've seen them used like that. That was a really nice use of them. So, two things I noted on that play specifically, just to kind of dive into that a little tiny bit. The first thing is when Justin Fields lined up out wide, he false started, but the ref was so surprised he missed it. The ref missed it. But Justin Fields,
so did I.
He false started on that play. 100% he false started.
Wow.
I thought nobody caught that. I was watching the broadcast. I was like, oh, they didn't call it. All right, cool, run it. So we got lucky on that one. That was.
I didn't see the false start. I was so like, what? I was so tripping on what's going on.
There's so
many things happening.
Right. I was looking for Fields because Moore was in the backfield. I was like, wait a minute. And then I looked and I seen him up in the bunch, and then he just kind of flinched before the thing started. I was just like, as a wide receiver, you can't do that. So
right.
It was a funny moment. And then the second thing I noticed, when Fields started his sweep, I want to say it was Aiden Hutchinson and both safeties locked on Fields and were just out of the play.
It was like four dudes. There was one other person. I don't remember who it was.
I saw three. It was free safety, strong safety, Aiden Hutchinson at the line, who probably had that assignment for any like reverses and contain. And then both safeties, though, they were like, that's Justin Fields split out wide. And then he started running that way, and they were just like, where is he going? And then the play was by him already. It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Oh,
what I want to see, and this is Luke Getsy. I know you don't watch this podcast. You've got better things to be doing. And dang it, you need to be doing them, especially this week of all weeks, because the Browns defense is incredible. Build off of it. Build off of that kind of play. When you hit on something like that, you have to show people that again and then trick them and do something else, right? Show them that look so they think, are they doing this again? And then while they're thinking that, you can hit them with something else because they're still trying to process what you're already doing and what you did last week, right?
I'm going to tell you what they hit them with.
Then the other part is hit them with the same thing from a different look. That's the
hit them with the same thing. Check this out. Hit them with the same thing from the same look. Maybe after you do that, but first, that's the second.
A couple weeks before you do the same thing from the same look.
I do them both in the same game. Right. Don't go screening.
Multiple plays from the same formation to make
run the exact same play, but this time actually hand Justin the ball.
And then let him throw it.
Yes, but have Mooney going behind the safeties on a deep post.
That's what I mean by show them
Right.
the
No, I know what
safety.
you're saying,
That's what I
but
mean.
that's it. Because
That's what I mean. Build on.
Mooney, he's like one of the fastest guys. Have him flying out of there, and he's
Yeah.
true to catch.
Yeah.
So when you do it, those two safeties freeze, and Mooney goes behind them.
Because when Fields
It's
gets
over.
that, you got to have a personal protector to block that end. We saw that end jump down immediately when Justin came around.
You don't even have to have that. Check this out.
You do.
If no. Watch this. If Justin doesn't false start, DJ Moore gets the hike and starts going his way. When Justin gets the handoff, he stops and throws the ball. He's not going all the way that way. He throws the ball because when they see it, they'll recognize the play.
You can't plan for everything to work perfectly, is what I'm saying. You can't plan for everything. So you got to put a personal protector on that one guy. Either that's going to be a guard that pulls the other way to block him while the tackle blocks down, or whatever, however you want to do it. I want to see that personal protector. You got to have somebody there to block the end.
Let's also give credit.
But yes, I love that Mooney deep shot off of that play. That would be awesome. That's the perfect way to build off of that. That's what I want to see from Getsy, is take the success and then use it to engineer more success.
The other thing with that whole play, the blocking was phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
Everybody, Brax, Patrick, everybody. I mean, Patrick with the one arm, I'm gonna just hit you in your chest because you're a little man. Mm-hmm. You know, there was the receivers, 23, our rookie running back. Everybody murked their blocks. I mean, DJ Moore walked in untouched, and there were guys over there. Mm-hmm. You know, and man, the blocking was phenomenal on that play, and many others. There were many other plays where the blocking was phenomenal. There were some plays where it wasn't as great, right? Like the play he escaped from a sack and safety. The blocking wasn't so great.
Yeah, but at the same time, that was a really crafty blitz. They sent, I think it was Anzalone on a delay up the A gap. Lucas Patrick being the weakest link in our line. Tevin was occupied. He's blocked two people so many times this year. I'm not going to hold that against him that he didn't come off of the DB.
It came around the right side. So
Darnell forced him deep though, which is all you can ask of your tackle when they do that speed rush. Darnell did his job and forced him deep. Fields, being the absolute physical monster that he is, Anzalone had his arms around Fields' waist in the end zone like this, and Fields just was like walk through it like it just didn't matter. He just fell off of him. And credit to Roschon for keeping up on his block and continuing to push and continuing to give that effort to help Fields escape like that. Credit to the rest of the O-line that held their blocks up so he could escape out the right side, and give him that alley.
And then you saw that speed.
A beast, dude. Oh my God.
And then from the break tackle to the shore velocity where his legs are just stretching and moving faster than other people's legs move. I mean, he's just covering more ground with a longer stride with faster moving legs.
He's just that guy. You know what I mean?
Right. Like, he's running past guys that are running full speed as if they're standing still. It's like when you get walked on the highway by a significantly faster car. You're just that happened.
That guy's got 600 horsepower. There's nothing.
Right. He just walked.
Fields has about 1,270 horsepower when he really turns it on and like opens that Bugatti engine up. It's gross. Like he's the new
Bugatti electric. You see that company that Bugatti bought? It's an electric company, and
the one that Richard Hammond flew through that car off the hill.
No, I didn't see it. He wrecked it.
Rimac is the company.
Rimac, yeah.
The Rimac one. This is totally Top Gear tangent, but man, look, if you don't like Top Gear, man, I can't help you right now. But
he wrecked it.
Rimac, they were doing like testing when the Rimac one was new. It was like 2015, 2016, somewhere around there, and they were doing like a hill climb, and they did a hill climb in a couple of cars, and then the Rimac was the last one, and Hammond was in it, and he got to the end, and then I guess it was supposed to stop or turn or something, but just didn't, and then he flew off the hill, rolled down the hill, and then the car caught fire. And he like crawled out of the car and went to the hospital. It was crazy.
Wow. So they probably won't let him drive the electric because the electric one is significantly faster.
No, that was the first generation of the electric one.
That was the electric.
It had 1,200 horsepower at the time. They asked Top Gear to review another one, or the Grand Tour, or whoever they were at the time. They asked those guys to review another one, and they were like, specifically, Richard Hammond is not allowed to drive this car. Somebody else has to do it. So James May, I think, drove it and did the review. It was so funny.
That is definitely Justin Fields. But we also have, I mean, think about our bestiality. We also have DJ Moore, the beast. I mean, him on that on the play where we drew offsides, Justin draws offsides the Lions and then lets it fly. But DJ was gone. He burnt his man so bad. He lit him on fire.
Sting on that 4th and 13. First of all, we got to do a whole another 5 minutes about that play. But DJ's release on that was one of the dirtiest wide receiver releases I have seen since Mooney burned who was it? Jalen Ramsey. Mooney burned Jalen Ramsey, and then Nick Foles just overthrew him into the moon. But he started off lined up, press man, over the center line. Justin Fields, they're doing all this crazy stuff at the snap. He does the outside release, right? Just stutter step, outside release right off the line. The corner turns to the outside thinking he's going to fade up the sideline. DJ flips his hips, inside releases the cornerback, turns this way, and then turns all the way back around this way before he takes a step in the field. DJ was gone.
You cannot do the full circle turn.
He put that dude in a blender. It was gross, and it was that fast.
Oh, man. And he was gone, and it was nobody that could help. No help possible.
If DJ Moore doesn't make the Pro Bowl, we riot, period.
Hey, let's get this right here on We're Talking Bears. If we're getting some listenership, which we are nowadays, get on your computer, go to NFL.com, and vote for DJ on that Pro Bowl, man. That dude, come on, he is one of the top receivers in the NFL from every standpoint, has been consistent, doesn't matter what team, doesn't matter who's throwing the ball. He's a beast. He's over 1,000 yards this season. He is murking it. I mean, it's just nuts. He's over 6,200 yards on his 6-year career. He probably will reach 6,600, which would put him at averaging 1,100, an average of 1,100 a year. He's on this year. He's got 7 touchdowns. That's a career year. He's at 1,000 yards. He needs 1,071. So he needs another 130 yards for that to be a career year. He's got a 74% catch percentage. Not to include, he got his first rushing touchdown of the year. He's got a 62% success rate receiving. It's just nuts.
Just an absolute phenomenal year from DJ Moore. This was a slam dunk acquisition. Credit to Ryan Poles for getting the Panthers entire livelihood ripped out from under them.
And we get a 1-1.
And we get the first pick. It's crazy that we got Darnell Wright, DJ Moore, and the first pick. When was the last time the Bears had such fortune?
Man, that's a straight up crime. Hey, speaking of that, so we get a 1-1.
Levels of robbery.
So we get a 1-1, right? So we get a 1-1, and I've been considering and talking with folks and whatnot about what do we do with the 1-1. And I know you and I were had our hearts beating exactly the same, talking about Marvin Harrison Jr. But then I've changed my mind.
Yeah.
What do you think we should do with that 1-1 and the other first round pick?
Man. Okay. So this is a tough conversation because there's 3 trains of thought, right? The first thing is trade down. That's the most obvious thing that we should do. One, Ryan Poles loves to trade down. Period. End of story. We know that. And the amount of picks you can get for the Caleb Williams Drake May decision to be in your hands and there's a lot of QB needy teams that want that decision in their hands. There's a lot of teams that will pay top dollar for that decision, right? Because they want the chance at this guy. They want the chance at Drake May. They want the chance at Caleb Williams for sure. What do we got? New England Patriots, definitely going to need a quarterback. Las Vegas Raiders, definitely going to need a quarterback. We're talking
Jets.
The Jets, not so much because they're just
the Jets are
back. They're not talking about trading up because one, they have their first round pick still because they gave the Packers a second for Aaron Rodgers, which is great.
Right. So
But
that just means they have to give us multiple firsts.
they got Rodgers. So we're talking. Well, the Giants would have been in the conversation, but now they got the new Italian mobster out there.
Yep.
Finders out there, whatever his name is. They got who else? Car's not in it. Off the top, it's a bunch of teams. Falcons, bunch of guys. So the trade market you can drum up. The trade market you can drum up in this contract year or this draft year is absolutely insane. So the haul we got for Bryce Young, we could repeat. We could literally repeat a player, several first round picks, a couple of extra picks thrown in. We could probably repeat that for this. And it wouldn't even be out of reach. And we could build a team in the span of 3 years that rivals the Eagles and the Niners and the Chiefs. Like, we could put that much talent on our roster all over the board for relatively cheap contracts, cost control.
While those other teams, let me interrupt you. While those other teams have overpaid in some areas for their talent, great talent, but overpaid and have to cap, dump people because of cap.
But think about if you're able to get, like, we've got 2 first-round picks this year. The second pick may end up being a little lower, especially if we make this run.
It will be.
Playoffs, which I think we end up somewhere in the 15 to 20 range at the current time. That's where I predict our pick will land. Could be a little higher, could be a little lower. Point being, we've got 2 first-round picks to grab talent, especially even if we trade back. We're not trading out of the first round entirely, or we're probably not trading out of the top 10 entirely. So we get a top 10 pick, a later first-round pick. We can kick this can down the road and have another top pick next year. We can kick that can down the road, have another top pick the year after that. So we're talking multiple years of first round, potentially even top 10 picks, depending on who we're trading to and why. So that is the obvious, like, if you really want to set this franchise up to just be perennial powerhouse talented, that's how you do it.
So here's my thought. Here's my thought, and here's why. Okay. I'm going to give you the 1,000-yard receiving seasons in Bears history. So Allen Robinson has 2. Alshon Jeffrey has 2. Brandon Marshall has 2. Marty Booker has 2. Marcus Robinson has 1. Curtis Conway has 1. Jeff Graham, don't even remember him, has 1. I'm sorry, Curtis Conway has 2. My bad. Before that, you go back to Dick Gordon in the 70s, Johnny Morris in the 60s, Mike Ditka in the 60s, Harlan Hill in the 50s.
Harlan Hill, he's right? Harlan Hill.
Yep. So now that's it. That is all of our 1,000-yard receivers. Here's my thought.
Mooney.
I was all in on grabbing.
Hold on, you left out Darnell Mooney in 2021. Don't play with your boy.
You're right. You're right. Darnell Mooney, 2021. My bad.
We always stand Moon, but we love Moon over here.
My bad. I did leave him out. Thanks for catching me.
There you go.
Now, with those numbers and understanding we're a 100-year run first team, if we draft Marvin Harrison Jr. and we have DJ Moore, we're not going to have enough targets to go around.
First of all,
we don't want to be a 40+ pass per game team. We don't. We've got great running backs. We've got great blocking. We've got great running schemes. We're near the top of the NFL and running the ball year after year after year.
Last time we had a 1,000-yard rusher.
It was
last year with Justin Fields, first of all. But I'm talking about a running back.
It's been a while. We run by committee, but I don't care that we run by committee.
So let's look at running quarterbacks and their top back, right? Lamar Jackson. When was the last time he had a 1,000-yard rusher? Has he ever had a 1,000-yard rusher?
I don't think so.
I don't think he has. Cam Newton. He had, I think,
Christian McCaffrey at the end.
At the very end of his career. I think Christian McCaffrey. I think he had one more beyond that, too. I can't remember who it was, but I think he had one other. Beyond that, Michael Vick. He had work done, I want to say.
But I don't think
Oh.
Warwick was a 1,000-yard back when he was with Vic.
Probably not. Probably not. So the point is, when you have a mobile quarterback, that takes a lot of the ground game out of your RB's hands. But what it also does is put a lot of wear and tear on your quarterback's body. So what we don't want is to build our team the way the Ravens built their team, which is great for the regular season because it's warm, you can pound it out, you can run all year long, and then when it comes to the playoffs, your QB's legs are tired, he's battling a couple of injuries here and there, just nagging injuries that are getting to him. And then when you get deep in the playoffs and you need a guy that can just square up on a guy one-on-one in the end zone and win that contested catch, where is he? That's how you don't want to build your team. This is the modern NFL. The San Francisco 49ers have Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel. The Philadelphia Eagles have AJ Brown and what's the buddy's name? Heisman buddy. AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. The who else? Pretty much every good team go around the league. Like the Ravens, Zay Flowers, Odell Beckham. You find a good
Let
team.
me interrupt you. I don't disagree with you. Let me interrupt you.
Every good team has two top flight wide receivers. Two, not one, two.
Let me interrupt you.
Except
Let me
the
interrupt
Chiefs.
you.
And they don't look so good this year.
First of all, we don't use Mooney. Honestly, we don't use him.
Luke Getsy's fault.
No argument, but we don't use Mooney. Okay. So first of all, Mooney's a lot better than we don't use him. He's a one-drop receiver. Boy, you know how much.
Not this year, man. Not this year.
What has he got this year? No,
He
it's not more.
He dropped one on the sideline this Ravens game. He underran several passes that feels through. That one on the Redskins game sticks out. He's been just not in the right spot. Justin has missed him a couple of times. Like him and Justin's connection has been off. No disrespect to Mooney. I said earlier, we stand Mooney. We love Mooney over here. I want the Bears to re-sign that man. But I think if we draft a top flight guy, that helps Mooney as much as it helps Justin.
Here's the key, though. But I don't honestly, on this particular team, I think drafting Marvin Harrison Jr. is the wrong decision with that number 1 overall because he's the number 1 overall. He's going to expect 10, 12 targets a game. You got to keep giving DJ Moore 10, 12 targets a game.
That's not who Marv is. You ain't never watched that man play. You ain't never heard him speak, nothing. Because if you're saying that, Marvin is a team first guy. Marvin is the son of a Hall of Famer. He knows what it takes to win. He knows that the game is not about him. He knows he doesn't expect the ball in his hands all the time, even when he's the best player on the team. He is a team first guy, first and foremost, first and always. And he's just like Justin in that regard. He got the same attitude. He got the same humility. And I guarantee you he will fit in this culture, in this locker room. So here's where I disagree with you. I think we draft Marvin Harrison, but not number 1 overall. I think if we trade down with either like do like we did with the Eagles, where we moved down a spot and took Darnell.
Behind us is New England and then Arizona. Arizona's not going to let Marvin Harrison go.
Arizona's not going to not win any more games the rest of the year because they got Kyler Murray back late.
Yeah, they might win some more.
They're going to win a couple more. They're going to move their draft.
If it goes New England, Washington's
not. They're not picking a quarterback.
They're not. So you might be in trouble there. And what about the Raiders? The Raiders, are they sold on Garoppolo?
The Raiders are not sold on Garoppolo. The Raiders are for sure picking a quarterback. So look, here's the thing. If as long as the Cardinals get out of the way, as long as we move the Cardinals somewhere in the 5 to 8 range, we can move back to between 2 and 3. We can get somebody else's first, because moving up to not allow somebody else, like for example, New England has to pay that so that nobody leapfrogs them, right? Because
what about Washington?
The Raiders,
Washington will take him.
What you mean?
Washington will take him. They like that. They like that guy that they're working with out there at quarterback.
The Commanders? Oh, you're talking about Sam Howell.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they also have Jahan Dotson, who they just drafted in the first round a couple years ago, and they have Terry McLaurin, who is a beast. So they have less room for a top receiver than we do. I think they just released both of their top defensive ends. So they have more needs on defense than they do on offense. And then if they really want to go offense, their offensive line could use a lot of work. So I think they go like a Olu Fashanu or Joe Alt. I think that's where they go, either that or it's going to be like a Jared Verse, Chop Robinson, Dallas Turner type deal where they go for another end to replace Chase Robinson and Montez Sweat. That seems like Washington's move, right? So I don't
Yeah, I
think
mean they released both Sweat and Young
so.
Chase.
They really have 3 good receivers already. They really don't need him. So that would be a beyond a luxury pick if they were to take him. They could, but it's unlikely.
They could do it. They could do a Detroit a take and trade.
No. Look, I think it's more likely somebody tries.
And when I say that, I mean take him and trade the guy that you would have kept. You just do an upgrade.
Oh no. I know what you're saying. I'm just saying it's not that likely. What I think is more likely is we trade back to 2 or 3. They take Caleb Williams, Drake May 1, 2, and then we take Marvin at number 3. That would be the optimal scenario for the Bears. That would be if we could write, the world to end up the way we want it to end up. That's what would happen. Because we could secure the future draft assets, probably get a first round pick just to move up 2 spots or whatever it is to go to leapfrog New England, and then there you go. And then there you go.
Jumping around, I don't want us to forget Cole Kmet and Jalen Johnson or Sweat and this defense.
Yeah, absolutely. Back to the Lions game. Cole Kmet, man, that Popeyes the Sailor Man muscle catch, man, that was incredible, man. That was absolutely amazing. Love to see that. It was heartbreaking that he couldn't catch that walk-in touchdown in the end zone. The ball was a little to the right, sailed on Justin a bit, and Cole was kind of, he kind of probably could have turned around and caught it. But both of them, they know they'll hit it next time. That won't happen again.
Cole also is having a career year. He's just about 60 yards under his most yards. He's at 548. 612 was the most he's had. He's got 5 TDs. 7 was the most he's had. He should be able to pass that.
Oh yeah.
His success rate, 63.5, is highest in his career. His catch percentage is 82.4, highest in his career. His yards per target, 7.4, second highest in his career. He's just his yards after catch is almost the highest in his career at 267. I'm sure he's going to beat that.
These dudes are young. Cole is what, 24, 25?
Yeah, he's a kid. He's a kid. Cole is young, 24, almost 25.
Is only 26. So
24. He's almost 25.
Cole, yeah. I said DJ is 26.
Oh, DJ is 26.
Jalen is 24. Justin is 24. Like, we have a young, very talented core right now, and they are ascending fast. I love to see it.
And here's one thing that let me toss this fact out. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 games this year where Cole caught every target, and one of them was a 10-catch game.
Yeah,
we caught everything thrown his direction.
I don't think he has. They may have counted that floated pass as his first drop of the year. That might be his first drop.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just we got to wow. The talent we have there.
I love Cole. I love the fact that how hard he blocks on every play.
A banger. Cole blocks some of the best defensive ends in the NFL.
Oh my God, Cole is.
He just squares up and blocks them. It's not a, oh no, you got a DN on a tight end, you're gonna get sacked or you can't run. Cole's like, I'm 260, dog.
He's as big as they are. He's as big as they are and just as strong. Cole is a monster in every facet of the game. I love him out there being a security blanket for Justin, being a security blanket for Tyson. He's really coming into his own. And it's so awesome that early in his year, he had Jimmy Graham to learn from. And then now he's got Mercedes Lewis. So he's had one of the best receiving tight ends and one of the best blocking tight ends in his career, like in his early formative years, to really mold him as a player. And you can see it. You can see it week to week. It's beautiful.
Oh yeah.
That's great. That's great player development, honestly. Yeah. And I'm so glad that we're doing this with Cole because we really didn't with Greg when Greg Olsen was here. And then he
just wanted the heck out of Chicago.
No, it was Mike Martz who forced him out. You remember that? Yeah, because he couldn't figure out how to use him in his offense. He was like, well, my tight end is supposed to block. And I would never forget the fact that we have one of the most talented young tight ends in the entire NFL who like burns defensive. And then he goes on to Carolina and gets 1,000 yards a year, to bet. But
which is why we were right. Polls again, good decision. Lock him up.
Yes, he's so young. He's so talented. I just want to see them do the same thing with DJ, or not DJ, Jalen.
Jalen Johnson.
Because that boy deserves some money.
Pay that man.
Jalen Johnson. Because he came in a couple of weeks ago talking about, I'm not trying to reset the cornerback market. Honestly, I think you can make an argument the Poles should have signed him right then and there. But since Poles didn't and was like, all right, you want to trade? Go ahead, shop around, see what people are going to offer for you. Didn't take nothing, didn't accept people's whatever they did offer, whatever. He set the asking price dumb high. I love that. That was a great move from Poles, so that nobody would come in and just third round pick. No crap like that. But since then, he has what, 3 interceptions?
4 interceptions. One was a pick 6.
4 interceptions, a pick 6, a ton of passes defense. I don't think he's allowed more than 3 catches in a game.
Dude, his pass coverage, his average yards per target is 4.9.
Yeah, his motivational tactic.
He's only given up 246 yards
all year long
in the year.
But from Poles to tell a guy who's already proven he's one of the best young corners in the game, if you want this top dollar, you got to elevate your game again. And then that's exactly what he did.
Did.
Credit to Jalen for stepping his game up yet again, for reaching that extra. What's that in Dragon Ball Z when they would level up again after they was already Super Saiyan? That's what he just did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what he just did. So
his pass rating when targeted is 47.6.
Yeah, you might as well.
Who wants to throw at that guy?
Nobody does. But here's the best part: Tyreek Stevenson has started to play really well. Kyler Gordon has gotten way more physical at the line, has gotten way more physical in the routes.
Don't forget our 5th rounder.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Terrell Smith is back from mono. He took a while to kind of get up to speed, but he really hit the ground running. I don't think he played all the snaps in that first game he was back. I think it was Minnesota. But then since then, he has been playing a lot more, and he has been super, super reliable. Brisker has excelled because all of the coverage around him has improved. He is allowed to just do him. And Brisker has an interception, a sack. He had a 17 tackle game against the Lions. What? 17 tackles from safety? What? That's a Brian Urlacher number.
Right.
What? So this team, this secondary has really started to gel. I think it can only get better from here. These guys.
And don't forget, we have to mention, we signed a guy and paid him, as they said, hey, they're paying him Myles Garrett money. We signed a guy in Sweat we already had a good run-stopping defense, and we made sure we didn't hire a guy that would make it worse, who would make it better. Mm-hmm. But what he's brought to the pass defense, we've increased by more than a sack a game. We've increased the number of picks is through the roof, and we are hitting the quarterback more than ever.
All right,
because we signed Sweat, and he is busting it up.
With that being said, Jalen Johnson has allowed less than 250 yards all year, right?
In a year.
I think he might be the lowest of any cornerback that has played X number of snaps, probably more than just a couple of games. Like a guy that plays every snap. 660
snaps this year.
Yeah.
He's only given up 240. He's not giving up a half yard a snap.
Insane.
Think about that.
Right.
Less than a half yard a snap.
Before Sweat got here, our pass rush was non-existent.
Didn't exist.
Non-existent. Sweat ain't been here for what, 3-4 weeks? Something like that?
4 weeks.
So that being said, that makes the case that Jalen is the best cornerback on the planet. Because his stats were already good before Sweat showed up.
They were good. He had 2 of his picks already.
They were good before he got here. And now that he's here, he's taking his game to another planet. Now that he has a pass rush. You can't look his way without the ball just kind of pulling out of your hand like Harry Potter, like it's trying to just fly straight towards his. You can't go to that side of the field. It's Nnamdi Asomugha vibes. That's what it's giving me. But with more interceptions, which has been his Achilles heel. But it's been his Achilles heel because he's had no pass rush basically his whole career. Either Khalil Mack was injured. I think the 1 year he had a pass rush, he was injured for most of the year. That was the year that Robert Quinn had 18 sacks for us. Yeah. And Jalen was injured for most of that year. So this has been by far his breakout season. and really shown that he might be the best corner in football. So do you pay him top of
Hey,
market?
now
Do
the
you
one
reset the market
stat,
for him? Do you let him reset the market? That's the
the,
question.
the one stat before I answer that, the one stat that he hasn't hit his rookie year, he had 15 pass defenses. He's only got 9 right now, so he's gonna have to work to beat
They're
that
not
number.
throwing at him. His rookie year, hey, they threw like 60 times at him. If you throw the ball at Jalen Johnson 60 times, he's gonna have 10 picks.
It's probably not a bright decision.
What's that? Well, how many targets? How many times has he been targeted? If you look at it,
So I'm not seeing that as a total.
let me see.
I don't see a total number of targets.
Jalen Johnson targeted.
Oh, okay, I found it. His rookie year, they were targeted 78 times. This year, he's been targeted 50. So he's going to hit near there. He's not going to get to 78, but he'll probably get to 65 times when he's targeted.
And he will get more. He will get double-digit pass breakups.
Oh yeah, he's at 9.
And he probably will have another pick by the end of the year. I would be surprised if he couldn't manage.
I think one of the things that Poles made a sentence with Montez Sweat is when he walked in, if you have proven you're worth it and you continue to show it, I'll pay you.
Yep.
He made that sentence with Sweat. But you gotta prove it, and Jalen is proving it.
Oh yeah.
He's
100%.
Poles ain't gonna pay you if you haven't proved it. And he's also not gonna get silly. Like, I love Roquan, but it wasn't Roquan's talent that was the problem, it was his crazy negotiating. Let's just tell the truth. Because you can't deny his talent and you can't deny his leadership. But
no, not at all. Not at all. Look, the Roquan.
But Poles is not going to do insanity negotiation. He's not.
Yeah.
He's a businessman. I'm not paying $17 million for that Ferrari. It's brand new. It's impossible that it's worth that.
I would love to have Roquan still be here.
Oh yeah, for sure. I would take Roquan over Tremaine.
I would love to have Roquan back in the building. Obviously, that's not going to happen. But
Tremaine is starting to play like a Bears linebacker.
Tremaine is getting his feet under him. That's great. TJ Edwards has been phenomenal.
TJ Edwards is phenomenal. Tremaine is starting to play like a Bears linebacker. He is popping folks. He was just tackling people before. Now he's hitting like he's a Bears linebacker.
He's comfortable now. I think he's starting to get comfortable, get his feet, and know where he's supposed to be and what he's supposed to be doing all the time. Now lets him play fast. That lets him play physical, and we're seeing the Tremaine Edwards we expected to get. Now that being said, like with the whole situation with Roquan, I think Roquan is worth $100 million. Personally,
I'm not disagreeing with that.
I think
with the market.
The difference being, if you give Jalen $100 million, that's at cornerback. That's a premium position. And I think that's where Poles drew the line, is that he's not giving that much money in a single contract to a position that is not a premium position. I don't think it had anything to do with the fact that it was Roquan himself or even his negotiating. Because you saw we're paying 3 linebackers less total money than what we paid Roquan.
Yeah, what we offered him that he turned down.
Well, we offered him some stuff with some de-escalators, and I don't know if I like that. De-escalators are pretty wild. Usually escalators are like, if you want to offer somebody something and be like, hey, I don't know what you're going to do, I would be like, let me give you 90 million with escalators to 100. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to do it that way. De-escalators, I don't mess with that. I'm sorry. But long story short, pay Jalen. If he wants 20 million a year, give him 20 million.
Hey, the other thing,
because in 4 years,
let me interrupt you with this.
He's 24. In 4 years, he's not going to be the top paid corner anymore.
He's still going to be young.
Could still be at that same level of play because he's so young and so good already.
That was the other thing. Roquan's young, man. He's 25.
Yeah.
So, but Tremaine has 3 picks in the last 5 games.
Yes, he does. And that's why we swapped to Tremaine, is because of his coverage skills. That's why we wanted him. Because Roquan, that was where he kind of struggled. Roquan, guys would go up the seam, and Roquan would be head on the guy with his hands up like this, but not getting his head around. They called some pass interferences. He missed some easy picks. that was Roquan's like Achilles heel in coverage. Maybe with coaching, because in Baltimore he's been good at keeping his head around and getting his hands on the ball more. He still's not getting a lot of picks, but his coverage has been better. So
hey, look at this. Tremaine's got a career year in picks already. He's not going to reach his pass deflection. His best pass deflections was rookie at 12. He's only got 5. So he's not going to reach that. But he can keep building his career year in interceptions. And he's probably going to hit 100 tackles again. He hits 100 every year. I can't. He's got 83 and he's got 4 games. I can't imagine him not hitting 100.
And he spent some time out, and he missed like all the training camp. So
yeah.
So, I like Tremaine. I think Tremaine is a great linebacker to continue our tradition of great linebackers. That being said, TJ Edwards might be better.
TJ Edwards is a beast. TJ Edwards is a beast. Man.
It's crazy.
I mean, you're looking at we're starting. We went from having not a lot to we're going to be in a comedy of riches, an embarrassment of riches.
Poles is doing his job rebuilding his roster. It looks devastatingly good. Now let's look ahead just a couple of days, because we got Cleveland coming up. Injured Cleveland team, Joe Flacco starting, but still maybe the top defense in the NFL. You got Myles Garrett, you got Dalvin Tomlinson, you got Denzel Ward at corner, you got Greg Newsome, a first-round pick at the other cornerback. I think their safety, Grant Delpit, is injured, but they got Juan Thornhill, a Super Bowl champion with the Chiefs, as his backup. So, JOK, Azwuzu Koromoa, the linebacker, safety, hybrid kind of guy. He's their rover. He plays all over the field. That's a tough team. That's a tough challenge for us to go against. Obviously, their offense, you would think, is not that good, but Joe Flacco threw 300 yards and 3 touchdowns last week coming off of his couch. So, I mean.
Hey, 2 things. Number 1, I think that our offensive line has to remember what they did to Justin and what was allowed by a Bears offensive line. Some of those guys are playing again. Yeah. They need to go break Myles Garrett. I don't want him to actually break him, but they need to break his spirit, right? And
Za'Darius Smith. We need a game plan for Myles Garrett, because last time we didn't have one. We had no game plan. It was like Jason Peters. Yo, I know you just got off your couch last week, but go block Myles Garrett, and it did not go well.
We need to win. Now, here's a benefit. Sweat ate Wright's lunch when they first met, when Sweat was a commander. He had Montez.
Oh, Darnell Wright. Yeah.
Guess what? Guess who Montez had to practice? I mean, Wright had to practice against.
Sweat.
He should be ready.
I don't know if he's ready yet. That's a tough assignment for any time.
It's a tough assignment.
Braxton Jones is probably going to handle Myles Garrett most of the game, but he might be moving around because Darius Smith can play both sides of the line as well.
They're going to move him around, especially if Braxton does a good game. They're going to move him around.
If Sweat is over there, we have to be recognizing that at the line. We have to be checking our protections.
You mean
Garrett? Or sorry, Garrett. If Garrett's over there, we have to be recognizing and checking our protections. Yep. We have to be moving help. We have to be chipping with running backs every play. These are all things that Getsy's offense does not do well. These are details that I always notice are missing when we talk about Luke Getsy's offense. And I need to see them.
We have to win this battle on the offensive front.
Yeah.
Out of our self-respect for our team.
Yeah.
The offensive line and the backs and tight ends have to, from a self-respect standpoint, say these guys aren't touching Fields.
They got to give him the chance to have his revenge game.
Yeah, they've got it. And Fields owes them a 400-yard game.
Ooh. They have allowed 179 passing yards a game.
Fields owes them a 400-yard game. And you know who can deliver on that? Not just if we can just connect with Mooney, and get him over 100, while we don't ignore DJ Moore and Kmet, it can happen.
Yeah, I think we can.
I want to hit Mooney for 75 yards on the first play of the game.
I would love that too. That would be fantastic. We can just dream that up.
While you're watching Komet and Moore thinking that's all we got, I want to hit Mooney for 75. First play of the game. And come back to him a couple times a quarter after that. But then get DJ and Komet involved and say, hey, wake up. And let Khalil Herbert get some of that.
Yeah, and this is why, like, because the offensive design that's capable with just DJ and Mooney is nice, because Moon is he's a good receiver. He's fast, good breaks, really good hands. Moon is a good receiver. Don't get me wrong. But if you add a third threat to this offense, and this is something that Aaron Rodgers struggled with even in Green Bay when he didn't have a third receiver to throw to behind Devontae and Allen Lazard. Like, that's why he was petitioning to get Randall Cobb back, because this offense needs a good slot to make it go. You need to have a guy that can work that slot, that can work the middle, that can really carve up defenses underneath as well to really kickstart it. And that's a limitation. I think they're going to struggle to get DJ open against this defense. I think they really are, because Denzel Ward is a fantastic corner. Greg Newsome has come a long way since he struggled his rookie year, but he's come a very long way since then as a corner, and he can really hold his own with some good receivers.
Well, I want to see somebody stop DJ Moore, because I haven't seen it yet.
No, they're not.
The only person that stopped DJ Moore is Luke Getsy.
Yes, that is true.
When he stopped throwing him the ball.
He doesn't throw him the ball, exactly. No,
right.
I agree, and I hope we don't go back to this BS Minnesota game plan. That's what I really hope we don't see.
I don't think so, because Flus was calling for more shots downfield.
Yeah. So
when your boss says do it,
like, this is what your quarterback does. This is what Justin is built for: is see a guy downfield that's got an inch of separation, that's got a one good step, and put the ball where only he can catch it. And Fields does that so fantastically well, maybe better than any other quarterback in the NFL, save just a very, very select few. He puts the ball in incredible locations downfield, incredible locations with regularity and precision. And if we don't let him do that, he will never be the guy we need him to be. We have to
this week we need to have at least 8 deep shots.
Yes, especially just to back them up.
At least connections, 8 deep connections. I don't know about connections. You had the beautiful shot with Komet downfield. You've had so much beauty. We've got to get
deep shots a quarter. I like. That's cool. That's enough for me. But if you have 8 deep shots in a game, I guarantee you them corners ain't sitting at the line of scrimmage. They're not.
And then that means that Herbert and Foreman and Johnson are going to get there.
That means Justin can work the underneath. That means Justin can escape the pocket. That means they can't contain as well when they don't have that athletic defender there. Like, you have to push deep with Justin.
And our boys on that line, they eat at IHOP. They're going to be pancaking mugs.
Yeah.
So,
Galvin Tomlinson is a hell of a run stopper. That's going to be a really nice matchup watching in the interior with him, with Tevin Jenkins, with Nate Davis. I really am looking forward to see how Dalvin Tomlinson fares against those guys, because that's going to be a real big test for Big Tev.
But I really think we're going to tear Flacco up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For sure.
He's not mobile at all.
Very confident.
He's not going to be able to get away. It's all going to be for him a race to get the ball out. And if you race to get the ball out against Jalen Johnson,
yeah, that's going to be tough. And
making a mistake.
Amari Cooper, he's very good, but he is not the receiver he used to be. So,
right. But even with that said, if you're trying to get that ball out in 2 seconds and you keep doing it on Jalen, he's going to get you.
Yeah.
He's going to get you.
I agree. 100%. So, I mean, overall, where do you think we stand in terms of, like, if you had to pick a way for this game to go, you think it's going to be a defensive game? Do you think this is going to be a shootout? Like, how do you think this goes? Because I don't know
points-wise how it's going to be, but it's going to be a war. It's going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah.
This is going to be a bloodbath.
That's the right word. Because I could see a lot of scores opening up on this. I could see a lot of, because it's going to be such a tight, tough contested game. That's typically the ones where you see big plays break it.
It is going to be a bloodbath. It is going to be hard hitting and mean. What do you see for the season? What is your expectation for these final 4 games?
I think we have the perfect storm to win out. We are the most well-rested team in football. One. We have the most 9-game weeks because we had, I think, 2 or 3 Thursday games. And then we had our bye week that was positioned really nicely for us. So I think we can definitely come in here and be the fresher team, the more ready team, the more aggressive team. The question is, where are we going to be on discipline? That's, I think, what's going to determine for me. Because last week we were really good with penalties, but the last couple of games have been not so great on that front. Is really all season. And this is one thing I've been hitting Floops for, because last year we were a very disciplined team. Even though we were terrible, we didn't make a lot of like dumb mistakes to set ourselves back. And if we can contain those penalties, if we get maybe a freaking unnecessary roughness call when somebody jumps on Justin after he gives himself up, for Christ's sake, then that might swing the game. That could be the difference. And you never wanted the refs to be the reason that you win. And I'm not saying that. I'm saying,
yeah, but we want to get some calls. Like when they slam Mooney down,
we lose. You know what I'm saying? We don't want our penalties to be the reason we lose. We can't shoot ourselves in the foot this week.
Or the fact that they just ignored flagrant penalties against us.
Yes, yeah, that too. And like Kyler Gordon getting his face mask ripped off and broken, but then calling a penalty on him in Minnesota, stuff like that.
I was happy when they actually called the unnecessary roughness that happened to Mooney.
Yeah,
because it was clear, guys standing out of bounds, you come up and blow him up.
And Anzalone is dirty. We all know Anzalone is dirty. We hate him. Like, he's the worst person in Detroit. But point on the football field. I'm not saying that him as a person, but on the football field, I don't know. But like, he always hits Justin late. I swear to God, he always hits. And then he waves to the ref like, "Oh, you know." Yes, you did. We know you know.
Yeah, you do.
So the point is, if we can be disciplined, this game, the games going forward, if we can continue just hitting our details, making sure that we're moving fast, playing fast, I think we can easily run the table on these guys. The Cardinals are not a great roster. The Falcons have no real definition at quarterback. We should not be allowing Desmond Ridder to carve us up. Like, they got some talent around their roster for sure, but that's not a team we should lose to.
We should, yeah.
That's half of their roster is the old Bears. So if we're not better than them, that tells us something.
That's a problem. That's a problem.
Yeah, that tells us something about ourselves. So that's an issue. And then it comes down to Green Bay at week 18.
Yeah, and I'm going to say this.
And boy, I hope we layeth the smacketh down, because
we need to. We need to. But you know what? We have been intimidated by Green Bay, and we have not played our game against Green Bay in a long, long time. This is the same thing that I'm saying about Cleveland. We need to go make a physical statement against Cleveland and a physical statement against Green Bay, and I think this is the right group to do it.
I think so too. I think we are.
And if we do, I'm gonna go 3-1 in these last 4. I'm gonna go 3-1 in these last 4. Is I think what'll happen. I would love to see us win out. I feel like if we win out and we make the playoffs, we deserve to be there, and we are a threat. I don't care if you are the top seed. Hey, the only top seed that we haven't been able to handle, even when they were at their stride, is Dallas. We fought Philadelphia tooth and nail when they went to the Super Bowl. I mean, we annihilated San Francisco,
Dallas, or whatever it was. Like, we it's not like we didn't score on Dallas.
Right? Yeah, but we gave up like 50. That was nasty.
Yeah, but our defense was non-existent.
It was non-existent. But I'm just saying, we weren't in the fight against Dallas. But I mean, I think let's get there. You know what I mean? If we win 4 in a row, we're making a statement about who we are. We've got a character win that we have to do in the Browns. We got a character win that we have to do in Lambeau. And if we win that, we deserve to be in the playoffs, and we are a playoff caliber team, and we're coming for somebody.
I think we are a playoff caliber team. I think we're peaking at the right time. We're really hitting our stride in December, not in September, which is, I guess, what everybody expected.
Or Lions.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're hitting our stride at the right time. We're healthy. We're hungry. Obviously, Yannick, losing him for the rest of the year hurts. Having him across from Montez Sweat was really starting to pay some real big dividends.
Somebody's got to step up.
Somebody
Somebody's
has to step up there. Somebody has to step up there and take advantage of those opportunities that are going to come.
And
Because
Unique as an expiring contract, man. Somebody steps up and can get 3 sacks.
I think it's going to be DeMarcus Walker. I think it's going to be DeMarcus Walker. If anybody steps up, he's the dude to do it because we paid him a lot of money. He's a physical, strong edge as well. And I think he really needs to collapse that pocket from the other side.
He needs to get in there and get some QB hits and get 3 sacks in these last 4 games. Prove that we don't need Yannick.
That would be wonderful. I love Unique. Credit to him. He fought. He's been a warrior for us all season long, especially against the run, which people clowned him for no reason whatsoever.
Right.
He's been a beast, and credit to him. But man, it hurts to lose him for the season. But as far as the defense goes, man, I'm really confident in this group. I think they can shut down all 4 of the offenses that are left. Jordan Love doesn't scare me.
No, Jordan Love is not scary, but you got to get to him. You can't let him just sit there.
Yes, you cannot let him sit back. But if you can take away the underneath, his deep shots are so inaccurate. So inaccurate. Like, he just chucks that ball up on a wing and a prayer, dude. And that's the best thing about him is that, like, yeah, sure, his underneath game is actually kind of decent. But that's all he has. That's all he has. He is at best a game manager. So I don't really respect Jordan Love. I don't really respect a lot of what we're about to go up against in terms of the overall level of talent compared to the Bears. I think we have the talent advantage. Obviously, it's the NFL. Anybody can win any given Sunday. There is never a game that you can walk in expecting to win. But I expect our guys to battle. I expect our guys. I love the attitude these dudes have. I love the way that they fight and claw and scratch to the last man. Especially these last few weeks as Justin has been back. They love that kid. They fight for that kid with all their hearts.
Yep.
And that's what you need.
Let's roll. Let's roll.
So ready. I'm so
ready.
I'm gonna be up. I'm
excited. I'm ready. Let's roll. Man, I saw us get demolished in Kansas City. It's our turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna be up at like 3 a.m. for this Bears game in England to watch it. I'm gonna have to get a stream from overseas or something, but man, I'm gonna be watching along, and then hopefully, man, it would be great if when I'm in Chicago the week after. That's Cardinals week, right?
Yep.
Yeah, hopefully, if I'm in Chicago the week after, I could be there for that.
Let's do it.
Fantastic if we can go. So yeah, I'm ready, man. I'm psyched for the rest of this year. I'm psyched for the potential playoff run. It's so great to talk about meaningful football in December. In December. It hasn't felt like this in so long.
Man, 2018.
I love it, man. It's been a while.
Hey, I'm Uncle.
I'm Son.
Nephew's out there scouting other teams and stealing their uniforms so they can't even.
He's recording their audibles.
For sure. For sure. Well, we're talking Bears.
We're talking Bears. Let's go.
All right. Cool. Hey,